I never thought I'd find myself working for a food delivery app. After being laid off from my sales job, I was thrust into a world of digital orders and suburban streets. The flexibility was a breath of fresh air, despite the occasional challenge. I enjoy the independence, the open roads, and the unique stories each delivery brought. October's chill was setting in, painting the suburbs in hues of orange and red. That evening, I received a ping for a large delivery order. The destination was a remote country house, a bit out of the way but nothing too unusual. I accepted, thinking of the extra pay that would come with it. As I drove, the houses grew fewer and farther between. The GPS led me down winding roads lined with tall, shadowy trees. The air was crisp, and a sense of isolation crept in as the city lights faded behind me. Finally, I arrived at the address. The house was normal-looking, well-maintained with a cozy, inviting glow from the windows. I gathered the large order and approached the front door, rehearsing my usual cheerful greeting. But no one answered. I rang the bell again, knocked a few times, but silence greeted me. A sense of unease began to stir in my stomach. I glanced around, wondering if I had the wrong house. That's when I saw them. 4 men near my car. One of them had a gun. My heart leaped into my throat. This wasn't a normal delivery gone wrong. This was something else, something dangerous. Instinct took over. I dropped the food and sprinted into the woods nearby. Branches whipped against my face as I ran blindly, fueled by adrenaline. I could hear my own breath, ragged and loud in the quiet of the night. Once I felt safe, hidden by the trees, I called the police. My hands were shaking as I explained the situation. They told me to stay put and wait for them to arrive. It felt like an eternity before the police got there. I was escorted back to where my car had been, but it was gone. The house, which had seemed so inviting before, now felt ominous. A woman answered the door this time, her expression one of confusion. She claimed to have no knowledge of the incident, no understanding of why I was there. It was like talking to a wall. The police seemed just as baffled as I was. The reality of the situation sank in. My car, with all my personal items inside, was gone, presumed stolen. I was stranded, miles away from the city, with nothing but the clothes on my back and a dead phone. The police gave me a ride back to the city. I was left to piece together what had just happened. The loss of my car was more than just a financial blow. It was my lifeline, my means to work, my independence. The following days were a blur of police reports, insurance calls, and a deep sense of violation. I felt exposed, vulnerable in a way I had never experienced before. Despite the assurances and sympathies from friends and family, I couldn't shake the feeling of being watched, of being a target. Sleep was elusive, filled with nightmares of shadowy figures and endless woods. Eventually, I had to make a decision. The freedom of the delivery job, once so liberating, now felt like a liability. The incident had left a mark on me, a deep-seated unease that I couldn't shake off. So, I returned to what I knew before, sales. It was a step back into a world I had left willingly, but now it offered a sense of security, a familiar routine that was comforting in its predictability. The transition wasn't easy. The fast-paced, target-driven environment of sales felt constricting after the open roads and flexible hours. But it was a necessary change, a step towards regaining a sense of control over my life. As I settled back into my old career, the memories of that October evening lingered. They became a story I would sometimes share, a reminder of a brief, surreal chapter in my life. The incident had changed me in subtle ways. I found myself more cautious, more aware of my surroundings. There was a newfound appreciation for the mundane, the ordinary, the safe. Life moved on, as it always does. I found new routines, new joys, new challenges. But every October, as the leaves began to change, I would remember the night I delivered to a remote country house and how it steered my life down an unexpected path.